Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, and today I'm going to be doing the next 6 stages of the Fanhome release of Build E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So if you remember last time, 6 stages, that's loads. If you remember last time, we were working on the neck. We had this stand here, and obviously we had worked on this motor here. Well, we're going to be continuing on the neck today. Loads of pieces here, but I am aware that some of the stages in these magazines are quite short, so I am going to bundle some of them together as we come across them. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also that QR code on the screen there. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So this pack is going to start with stage 33. Oh, Elliot. And there's the magazine. And as you see, we are putting a plate on what we've just created in the last pack. And that's all we're going to be doing. So as you see, this is why I'm going to bundle this stage and the next stage together. So that's 33. And then this one is 34. Just going through here, and as you see, we've got exactly the same thing, a plate just going onto the other side there. So what I'll do is I'll put these 2 plates on in one stage. So as you can see, I've laid them out just like this. That's stage 33, that's stage 34. Okay, so taking the plate from stage 33 and making sure that it's facing the right way. So we've got this up indent inside, it's going to be facing up. That's going to go on here just like that. It's going to be held in with a short black screw. I'm not going to read the screw name out because I'll be here all day. As you can see, we've got a long one and a short one. It's a short one we need. And I'll just screw this in. So one this side. And one this side here. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. We're not actually using these parts because that's the end of that stage, just screwing that part in there. Now, when we put the other one in, as you can see here, we've got the same size screws, but this time we've got small screws and we've got large screws. So we want the middle size screw. Again, making sure that the up is facing the right way. And screw this one in as well. And that has left quite a few parts left over, namely these 2 parts here, which we're going to be working on in the next stages. And for the next stages, we're going to be bundling those together as well, I think. So this is stage 35. Oh, a speak and spell. Always wanted one of them. We're going to start the neck mechanism now. So we've got all of these parts here that we're going to be creating using some of these panels here that we just had for the previous stages. And as you can see, not much to do in that one. So what I'm going to do is bundle that up with the next one, which is stage 36. Here's the magazine. And again, we're adding some parts to this again. So by the end of it, it's going to look just like this here. And this is the rest of the magazine. Okay, so here's stage 35. Lots of metal bits in this by the look of it. And that's a big bearing as well. Look at that. Okay, so I need this plate that we had in stage 33. And I also need to put that bearing into this crankshaft here. Now this is metal, so I'm guessing it's going to have quite a bit of load, but there we go, that's the bearing in place. That's then going to go into this center section here, just pushing that in. There you go, perfect. And then once the bearing's in, we can take that out. So we've just been using this as a pushing device just to get the bearing in. Okay, we do then have a shaft to put in. So what I need to do is put the pin that I've got here just at the top of this shaft to make sort of like a T section there. Now they are saying use some glue to keep that into place. So that's going to be interesting. I'm trying to think how I'm going to do that. Let's, because I do want to keep that tidy. I think what I'm going to do, if I put some glue around the middle section here, like that, push this into this center part here to where it needs to be, and then use my cotton bud to take off the excess on each side. There you go. So then that's in place like that. This is going to be going down, probably best on the top camera, the crankshaft here, like that. And with those two parts completed, that's the end of that stage. And stage 36 is very similar. Let me just get this open. So once again, they want me to put the bearing on the crankshaft here. I'm then bringing over this part of the plate, which came in stage 34, pushing this into place all the way in. I can see why they're asking us to use that now, because it is a good pushing device to make sure that's flush in there. Then we can take that out again. Now this is where things get slightly more different. We've got this crank that we made in the last stage. I'm going to be taking this end here and putting this black plastic connecting rod into place. So this is just going to be going on there just like that. I've now zoomed up the top camera, give you an idea how that looks. Then I'm going to be taking the crank that we get on this one, and that's going to go on the end there. So that's now how that's looking. And I'm going to be putting this together with a screw and washer on one side. And that's going to go into this side here. That's going to keep all of this together. Turn it over. And as you can see, we've got a place for a nut to go in. Now this is a locking nut, looking just like this. Put that into place there. Make sure it's sitting flat. Perfect. And then screw this in. There you go. And I've made sure that that's in as tight as I can get it, because this is still able to move. So we want to make sure that these panels here that say up are still sitting up, and I'm going to be putting the long shaft through the first plate that we had in stage 33. Make sure that that's clipped in all the way there. And then again, making sure that panel says up on this side, I'm going to be making sure that this one is on this side. At the same time as I'm pushing these in, I'm making sure that the tabs are connected on each side here. And it works like a cam in there. Can you see that? Look at that. That's how that should look. Okay, we are holding this together just with two screws, and these are going to be, and you'd be tempted to think they're the long ones. They're not. They're the short ones. They're going to go in here. So on this side, and just one the other side. Perfect. And that is in place, no problems at all, and that's the end of those stages. And I'm guessing we're probably going to bundle the last two together. So this is stage 37. And as you see, we've got another part of the neck mechanism now we're going to put together and add on to what we've just done. So as you can see, that's all there is to do in that stage. And then the final stage of this pack, which is stage 38 here. Just go through the magazine again. As you see, we've got a spring system here, and we're going to be adding that onto what we've got there. So by the end of it, this is what the whole neck system is going to look like when it's installed into that frame. And this is the rest of the magazine. So here's the stage 37 parts. And what I want to do is take this section first and lay that down. And I want to put this ring over the top. Now the ring goes in, just checking which way this goes in. We want the flat side of this ring facing up. So that needs to go in that way. And I'm holding that in with these little FTP screws. We need 4 of these. And there we go. That's all of those in place. And that's what that should look like. Okay, bring over what we've been working on last time. Now you see we've got these 2 indents in here and here. I need to then put this little gear on, and it's going to have the indents going into those little notches there. So then when they're in, that should fit flat in there like that. I'm then just going to be putting this on top. So basically this side here with the opposite side of that are going to go together like that there. And I'm just leaving it just like that because that's the end of that stage. which means I'm just opening the last bag here, which is the spring parts and stuff for that mechanism. Now, to do the next bit, I want you to see something. You see this crank inside here? At the moment, this can actually come backwards and forwards from that as well, okay? We need to make sure that this is securely into that area there. So there's a gap between there. And what I suggest is if you've got anything you can ram in there, I found a couple of emery boards here, then ram away. Because you don't want this pin coming out. You want that to be as far in here as possible, because for the next bits we're putting on, we're going to be putting on this little ratchet system here, which has got some notches, which is going to go into the notches there. That needs to be fitting in like that. On top of that, we've got its opposite number, this big one here, which is going to go on top of that there. Just making sure that's in place. Perfect. Then I'm going to be putting on a washer. Make sure it goes to the bottom. A spring. Another washer. And there's a little top hat that's gone through that washer as well. So that's going to go through both of these parts together. Just trying to ensure that that fits all the way down there like that. And then we've got this screw at the top here. Now, if you haven't done that, you're never going to get that in place. Trust me, I've been battling with it, which is why my fingers are filthy. We do need to tighten this up, and they provide a wrench for that. So we can put this on and make that nice and tight. Now we need to have at least 2 mil of this shaft showing on top, so keep tightening it until we've got that 2 mil, which that might be a tiny bit too much. I'm going with that there. Perfect. Then I can take these out, and then that is in place. Believe me, if you didn't do that, you're going to have a big time, because I spent about 20 minutes before I figured that out. Okay, so now we're going to be bringing over this section here that we've been working on, and we're going to be putting this into place. So it's going to go probably best on the top camera into the parts on the inside here. I'm just lining them up on both sides, and they're just going to be held in with 4 screws this side, 4 screws the other side, and these are the large screws here. And there you go, they're all in. Now if I show you on the top camera, that is how that's looking. That's that side, that's that side, and that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. God, that was fun, you know. Until I battled that spring, I thought this is never going to happen, but then I realised what the problem was. So I'm hoping someone's going to fall into the same trap I did. Hoping you watch these videos. It's made it easier for you. Anyway, once again, if you want to get this for yourself, have put a link in the video description and a QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.